Ladies and gentlemen, the So What Morning Show is back in the building, and all is well. All is normal. Now, let me tell you what I mean by normal. Geoff Brown has returned to his old ways. He is late. He is on the freeway right now. He broke his, I guess, close to a year-long streak. At the beginning of 2013, didn't miss a show. Was on time. Now he's back to his old ways.
You know, one of the reasons that people are late, one of the reasons, and God plays this trick on us. What happens is, just when you're supposed to be going somewhere else, suddenly your brain gets involved with what you were doing before, and it's tough to let go of it. It's kind of like you're trying to figure something out, and just when you're supposed to go somewhere else, the light bulb goes off, and you say, oh, I'm finally figuring out what I need to do. I can't leave this, and then you're late to the next thing. I mean, it's kind of crazy.
And it's Geoff Brown. He's
there you go.
But he shall be here shortly. Today's topic is going to be a great one. You just tuned into RMCOnAir.com. The number to dial and participate on this show, it's a caller-driven show. We need to hear what you have to say about today's topic, thirsty love. That's what it's called. Desperately seeking anyone. Are you so desperate to be in a relationship that anybody will do? Who is the most desperate gender? Male or female? Somebody call us, 323-965-1600. I'm not going to give you all the questions for today's show right now. I just wanted to give you the topic, thirsty love. Desperately seeking anyone. Are you so desperate to be in a relationship with anyone that anybody will do? So that's the topic. Call us, 323-965-1600. Now, you know, as is commonplace, we like to do a book selection, books that I've read. And I also want to take this time out to support a lot of people who support us. I'm wearing a cat shirt right now. It's called Cool Nerd. He's a fan, a listener. Listens to the show, sent me some t-shirts. Cool Nerd. Check him out. I think he's on Instagram. Cool Nerd. Google him. I don't know his website, but it's kind of fresh, you know, a little baseball hat with some glasses. A cool nerd and bow tie. He might even be an urban member of the Nation of Islam with the bow tie. I don't know. But check it out. I like his gear. It's fly. He said, could you wear it for me? And I said, I will. So support the brother Cool Nerd. Now, book selections. This is another listener. He has a radio show. Said the radio show was inspired by us. Can you believe that, Doc? Inspired by us. He's out of Dallas, Texas. Him and his girl bought some t-shirts. And I just want to thank everybody for buying the t-shirts. If you want a Zo What t-shirt, reach out to me on my website. I am ZoWilliams.com. Zo is spelled Z-O, not Z-O-E. That would be Zoe. Zo Williams. I am ZoWilliams.com. That's the website. Please go there. You can get my t-shirts. Support the movement so we can stay on the air. This brother here did just that. The book is called The Unapologetic Truth, A Journey in Black Conscious Thought by R.H. Robinson. Now, let me tell you about this book. I read it. It's articulate, it's intelligent, it's concise, and it's deep. Now, you know, I don't read a lot of crap. Once I get through a couple of pages, the crap-o-meter goes crazy. And I was reading, and I said, man, this is a really interesting read. This is a very good book. Not long. It's about our culture. It's about knowledge of self. It's a historical retrospective, but it's deep. And it blends what's happening today with what we've missed. You got to check this book, The Unapologetic Truth. The brother supports me, so I'm going to support him. Here's another great book. Some of you may have read this book in high school. This is those kind of, this kind of book, They give you these books to try to broaden your perspective, your worldview, your umwelt, right? Very important book. I think you should read it, by Aldous Huxley. Brave New World. Now, its setting is kind of fiction, but it's not really fiction. Of course, he created this imaginative way to convey some of these really powerful, mind-bending thoughts about society, about culture, about the world we live in. It's a brave new world. Come on. Got to support this book. Very, very good read. Trust me, you'll think differently after you've read it. Also, good friend is in the building. You heard him talking. He couldn't wait. He hasn't been on air in a long time. Dr. Mark Goulston has rejoined us. We missed him. He's back. And you got to go get his book. Because again, the reason for the book section is to challenge what you think to be true. Challenge what you know to be true. And that's the only way intelligence can have an active role in your life, if you're challenging all of your assumptions and all of your concepts and ideations. Real influence, persuade without pushing, and gain without giving in. Dr. Mark Goulston, author of Just Listen, and our favorite resident doctor is in the building. We really appreciate you coming back, man.
Glad to be here.
Please support his book. Go get it right now. I got another one. Now, this sister, I just met her. She did a reading for me about a month ago. You know, we're going to have her on the show. We're going to have her and a few other psychics. You know, I like to push the psychic thing because I really want to bump into a real one. That's you know what I'm saying? Like, I really want to bump into, you know, you were born on Sunday at 4:04 p.m. and I want to know somebody who knows all of it. So I give these people an opportunity. But her book was interesting. It's all in the name, The Hidden Power Within Words. And she breaks down your name and does all types of anagrams with your name and gives meaning to why you were named what you were named. Gives a whole nother understanding. Sharita Starr, it's all in the name. You really got to check her out. You know, you got to check her out. This book is incredible. Please support her. And then my final selection, a lot of people, you know, ask like, you know, where do you get like some of your philosophical concepts and, you know, spiritual ideas? If you ever really want to know about love from a poetic, philosophical, psychological level, you gotta check out Rumi. If you don't know about Rumi, please check out Rumi. This is the essential Rumi. It's put together by the mystical classics of the world. So they'll do something on the Tao, they'll do something on Buddhism, but Rumi, you know, Rumi and Khalil Gibran, some of my favorites when they write about love, you know. This guy right here, Rumi, incredible work if you want to deepen your concept and understanding of love, relationship, and just life in general. You got to read some Rumi. So those are my book selections for 10/8/2013. Now, what we're going to do right now is take a quick break. But when we return, topics, thirsty love, desperation. Somebody call me at 323-965-1600. The number to dial to participate, 323-965-1600. We'll be back in 2.2. So what? We'll be back. Ladies and gentlemen, back in the building once again, So What Morning Shows. Now listen, we have our special guest online, but before I introduce the brother, you know, I want to tell again what today's topic is, and I want to urge you to call. Thirsty love, desperately seeking anyone. Are you so desperate to be in a relationship that anybody will do? Now, everybody has different definitions of thirsty or desperate. I want the callers to call in and tell me what your definition of thirsty is. And do you know somebody like that? If you have a scenario, situation, friend, family member who is just desperate in their behavior and the way they deal with relationships, call us at 323-965-1600. And I also have questions based on that. Which is the most desperate gender? I don't think there's a most desperate gender. I think they manifest their desperation in different ways. Do you think, Doc?
Well, what do you mean by desperate? What does desperate mean to you?
You know, like after the first date, they propose after the first date, like maybe moving too fast, maybe overly, like a little pushy about where the relationship is going, maybe controlling. I want to see your phone. Let's share numbers. Desperate, a little thirsty. Fall back. I need a little space. Clingy, maybe a little too clingy. Desperation. I think the kids today call it thirsty, right? I think that's their terminology. But we got a special guest on the line, and I want to bring the special guest in because maybe, just maybe, after I introduce this guy, we can blame him for the thirstiness that's out there. Because this is just my opinion, I think a lot of people learn from social media. They learn from the media, right? Pretty dumb people. There are a lot of people out there who believed Babyface when he said, I'll wash your car, I'll cook your breakfast, I'll brush your teeth as soon as I get home from work. There was a lot of women out there said, now see, that's the man I want, right? We have a special guest in the building right now, or on the phone. His name is Alvin Garrett. The brother is an Grammy award-winning songwriter and producer. Now, I'm going to blame this dude right now. Garrett?
Yes.
It's you. You started all of this mess, didn't you?
Man, I take full credit for the desperation that you are speaking of. I take full credit, man.
No, but seriously, I'm being honest right now. When it comes to relationships, what is your definition of thirstiness and desperation?
Well, how about we just define it as Webster's would define it? Very sad and upset because of having little or no hope, feeling or showing despair. And that's an official definition. Very bad or difficult to deal with. That is a definition of desperate.
You think so? I mean? Doc, let me ask you this. When I think of desperation, I think of someone, I can't live without you, right? Mm-hmm. And a lot of the definitions that are out there for desperate kind of bleed into the cray-cray. What is it? Personality disorder. What was it? We did the show. I forgot the name of the show. We call it the cray-cray, but I think it's one of the fans will tell us. Where's my chat room? I see you guys up there. Yeah. One of the fans just told us, right? The bipolar personality disorder where people, it's all about me and they're trying to control the relationship and they're trying to dominate the relationship. They don't want the person to have any level of freedom, right? And I think this manifests itself in teen relationships as well with the bullying through texting. Where are you going? Where you been? All of that. So with that said, is there a way to kind of break away from a thirsty person without, not necessarily them knowing, but is there a way to get away from a thirsty person without hurting them or without them stalking you to death? How can you do it, Doc?
When I think of a thirsty person, when I think of relationships, I think...
You know what thirsty is, Doc?
Yeah, that's why I drink Pitbull.
Oh, jeez. I was about to say, you use
This is my favorite drink.
Borderline disorder. Borderline personality disorder is what we were talking about.
I was having narcolepsy, and then I tried Pitbull. And I'll tell you, it lifted me up. I am so lifted up, I don't even feel white anymore.
Well, you ain't gonna never be able to unwhite yourself, Doc.
I know. Whitey Lock strikes again. What can I tell you? But I think when I look at people, I think there's a thing where people want something, need something, and gotta have.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Want, need, gotta have. And I think gotta have means you can't do without. And so I think if when you feel gotta have, it suddenly feels like if I don't get this, something bad's going to happen to me. I'm going to fall apart. But if you're on the receiving end of gotta have, what it triggers in you is gotta get away. And so, and so I think what happens is the more desperate you are, the more invasive you feel to the other person. Wow. And the more invasive you feel to the other person, they feel like you're like a tsunami with cancer. And it just flows into you. And so you do everything you can to stay away. And then, of course, the more you need to stay away, the more desperate they are. And it's really difficult to stay away without hurting them.
Alvin.
Yes.
Do thirsty/desperate people drop their friends so that they can be everything they need to be for their partner? And is that a smart thing to do?
That's what they do, and it's not very smart at all because they engulf themselves with that person. And some people call this desperation being in love. Have you ever heard somebody say, I'm in love? So they've suffocated, fully engulfed themselves into these emotions that they can't control. Whenever you lose control, then that thing controls you. So that desperate feeling, that tsunami he just talked about, you can't control it. You can't get away from it once it hits you. And that's not a place to be, you know. So being in love is being out of control. You know what I mean? Love is a choice, and it's a healthy choice.
I disagree, Alvin. I disagree with love being a choice. I don't think you choose love. I don't.
Why not?
That's really arrogant to say.
Why not? So
love is probably one of the most powerful, one of the most surreal experiences you could possibly have. And I think human beings are just too idiotic and dumb to really be in control of something that powerful. I don't think so.
I wrote a book called The 6 Secrets of a Lasting Relationship, How to Fall in Love Again and Stay There. And the 6 secrets, I'll give them to you so you don't have to buy the book. I wouldn't be offended if you bought the book, but you don't have to.
Buy his book, please. That was a plug.
And the secrets, and Alvin, I'd be interested if you think any of this makes sense. And the secrets form the word create. So create love. And when you fall in love, falling in love is like a temporary insanity. And what happens is the 6 secrets all light up, and what create stands for is chemistry. So that's sex, romance, passion. R is respect. E is enjoyment, fun. A is acceptance. T is you trust this person without any reason to. And the final E is empathy. So the view is, and I made a parallel that when you buy a computer and you set it up, you fall in love with it. You plug it in and you hear that sound that it's all set to go. But then, just like a computer, love develops glitches. And so what happens is when you fall in love and all those six foundational things are there, what happens is you jump into that. That's what allows you to leave your parents, because you have this chemistry, respect, enjoyment, acceptance, trust, and empathy. But then you develop glitches, and what the book's about is how do you have a conversation with the other person when you develop a glitch? How do you tell someone in the chemistry department that for 3 years, the way they've been touching you, that they think turns you on, actually makes you feel like nails on a chalkboard? That could hurt their feelings.
Wow.
So it's all about how to reinstall, those things which are naturally there when you fall in love. That's the whole magnetism of love. But those are very sensitive conversations. How do you tell someone, when you do such and such, I kind of lose respect for you?
Alvin, you're a songwriter.
Does that make any sense,
That
Alvin?
it was succinct. And this is why I'm upset with Alvin, because he's won Grammys. Now, Alvin, do you agree or disagree with this? Back in the day, right? Songs like Marvin Gaye, Let's Get It On, they weren't as over the top in terms of their content You know, they weren't as blatant, as direct to the point. Clap your booty hole, whistle with your butt cheek. You know, slap it down, oil up my sphincter. Vulva music. You know, it wasn't. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. You know, it wasn't as direct in your mouth. You know, put it in your mouth was a record in the night. Vulva music. You know. So my thing is, back then, those were the social game rules for how we engaged and interfaced in relationships. Guys wanted to be cool because Marvin said be cool. Guys wanted to be cool because Miles Davis was cool, right? And guys only do things that women approve of, right? So if we're listening to the music and we're listening to records and that's giving us our social game rules, I blame you for all the bullshit that's in records today.
Well, Zoe, listen, this is where you can't blame me for what you just said because I don't put that in my record. I don't put that in my record.
For the fans who just tuned in, Alvin, for the fans who just tuned in, tell them your biggest hits, who you've written for, so they'll give a damn about what you got to say.
Well, right now, currently on the radio, is a song called I'd Rather Have a Love, performed by Joe, and another record called Love and Sex, featuring Fantasia. If you listen to those records, I'm doing some preaching, my brother. You just got to listen to the words. And it ain't clap your booty. It ain't put it in your mouth. No. You know what I'm saying? It's talking about us as men on I'd Rather Have a Love. It's saying at some point I'm going to get older. At some point, I feel these streets pulling at me, but I also have love pulling at my heart. What am I going to choose? I'd rather have a love than have a life alone. Because at some point, you're going to get older and these young girls ain't going to want you like that.
But you know what's interesting about what you're saying? The dude you're defining is a gentleman, right?
That's right.
But in today's culture, the gentleman is a simp, right? And he's defined as thirsty, desperate. I'm just saying.
Well, it just depends on the type of woman he's after. You follow what I'm saying?
What type of woman have we created through your music?
No, not through my music.
I'm blaming you, Alvin.
So I represent all songwriters today, right?
No, Brother Alvin. No, Brother Alvin, this is Geoff Brown, comedian and a kind of a novice producer, songwriter, music fanatic.
Right.
Okay.
He's Chintzy Jones.
Yes, I'm Chintzy Jones. What you're going to have to deal with is if I'm a baseball player and there are dirty baseball players, or if I'm a cop and there are dirty cops,
right,
I'm going to have to carry a little bit of that. If you standing next to somebody that's got some shit on them, you subject to get a little shit on you. We not going to talk to my mama about how bad the music industry is because my mama don't make music. We got to talk to you. And from where we can see, from where once anarchy starts, I am going to tape a big rock to my hand and walk into record labels and bash the executives right smooth in the face because it's them and it is us who buy it. It is us. Nobody else puts their shortcomings to dance music like black people.
Right, because see, listen. Damn it. See, because I used to A&R.
That's right.
I A&R'd at Loud Records, RCA, and Warner Brothers with Maverick and all that. And I know what it is. They don't want quality, great shit. Just they want whatever's hot. And if ass clapping to a slow, screwed up track is selling, guys like Alvin got to write that record.
Let me see your booty hole. Let me see your booty hole. You ain't gonna see my booty hole. You ain't gonna see my booty hole. Yeah.
Let me see your booty hole. It's a record.
Let me see my booty hole.
Oh. Hey, you need to cut that one, man. You might get a check.
No, I refuse. I can't do that.
You see, he gonna go.
I got a daughter.
Record.
I got a daughter, so I can't do that.
Right. Well, see, hey, man, if you was to check out my music, you'll realize But I write music like I got a daughter, too.
Oh, brother, looking for a
I'm standing
love.
next to baseball players, so, I might get a little something on me. You follow what I'm saying?
Looking for a Love is brilliant, man. I love that song by Joe. It's on some
a good record.
70s
Yeah.
stylistics vibe with the way the snare come in right on the floor, and then it's back out with finger snaps. Oh, that's hot, dude. Did you produce that?
Oh, my man Derek DOA Allen produced that. I did all the vocal arrangements and the writing.
Wow.
Yeah,
I love
as a team, man, we bring in that kind of music back.
So y'all gambling, huffing it right now.
Absolutely.
Huffing and
Absolutely.
puffing. Dr. Goulston, let me ask you this.
Wait, I gotta do my ignorant white question.
Here we go.
All right. Here
we go.
Okay, it's maybe the irrelevant thing. This shows you how out of the loop I am.
Duck and cover.
Do you think music about relationships and love is focused more on what you're going to get than what you have to give? Because if music is all about what you're going to get, it creates a thirst. Go out there and this is what you're going to get. But what we really need is what are you going to give? And I think the world needs to give more instead of only thinking about what it's going to get. So you guys are more into the music world than me, but do you think it leads people to think, oh, listen to this. This is what you're going to get. This is what you're going to get. This is what you're going to take and grab for out of life, as opposed to what you're going to give to life. Because if you look out at the world that I look at, life needs to be given to. Doesn't need to be taken from anymore.
Absolutely.
So what do you think? You think music is about this is what you're going to get, as opposed to this is what you need to give?
Well, I mean, really, music is a reflection of the mindsets of the people making the music. And like he said before, in the 70s and 60s, when you talk about Marvin Gaye and these guys, man, being in love and being clever with love was a cool thing. You know what I'm saying? And cats would listen to this music to figure out how to talk to women, but women would almost slap you in your face if you came at them with the same lines that we spit in today. Now, go at a woman with some of the lines you spit today, you might get you a little something. Oh, for real? You think I got a big
you
booty?
can tell a woman today, and it'll seem cute, get up on this D.
Well, I don't think the paradigm has changed. I think the bullshit that we're putting through it has. Music has always been how you want to talk to your lady. Okay?
Exactly.
Love's Holiday by Earth, Wind, and Fire has always led my slow jam tapes. Always. Back, shout out to the cats who used to make slow jam tapes. Now,
I was about to say, what reference, what time zone are we in?
Oh, bruh, I am so proud, as Andre Brower said on Arsenio Hall show last night, I am 14 years past my expiration date. I am really, really not of this time because I can't listen to popular music because I don't talk to my woman like that. Marvin Gaye said what I wanted to say. Earth, Wind, and Fire said what I wanted to say. Switch said what I wanted to say.
Switch.
I want to be closer to you, baby.
They'll never be.
Oh, I'll get that right now.
Hey, wait. Look at the doc's face.
You don't know none of this? Doc, since we are
What record
lying
is
here,
that?
for the first time, you and I, show me.
This is
what you
Jerry
want from
White
me.
singing right now.
What? Brother? Whoo! You put that, see, I'm married already, and I don't tell my wife to bend over and bust it open. That's so.
Bust it loose.
Yeah, go on, bust that loose. No, I don't talk to my woman like that.
They talk about it like it's an inner tube.
The music is what women will accept. Black women could change the music industry tomorrow if this were to happen. Here's the scenario. My name is Mark, let's just say. I got my fade done. I got my car detailed. My gear is sharp. I roll into a club. I see this girl across the room. Let's just say this sister's name is Stephanie. Sitting there, fine as Persian cat hair with, well, since it's me, Afro puffs, because I like natural. No, I'm not with the weave perm crew. Just afro dreads or whatever. She's sitting there, and I walk up, and I buy Stephanie a drink, and I'm talking to her, and everything is going wonderful, and one of them bent over and busted open songs come on, and she goes, you know what, Mark, thank you so much for your time, but I think our evening kind of ends here. And I go, wait, whoa, what's the matter? Well, I hear this music, and I'm looking at you, and I can only think that this music is how you feel about me. The DJ would be lucky to leave with his life if that shit started.
But you know, the difference is, like, this is what's crazy about today. I got a 13-year-old daughter.
Yeah.
She loves Chris Brown's music. And what I do is take every opportunity to point out the disrespect in it.
Not China, dog.
You know,
Fine China.
But no, I'm just saying. No. But he has other records that are just,
yeah, he does.
You know, say hi to my dick.
Yeah.
Is what he said in a line. And I'll say, hey, I'll tell my daughter, Prima, he's not talking to me. He's talking to you.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand? So he'll say, pull your panties to the side. I'm going to make you feel all right. Hey, he not talking to me, honey. He's talking to you. So again, it's almost like the thirst is inbuilt in the record, and that's what's teaching the social game rule. This is how you behave.
Right.
This is, if a guy is talking to you like that, he must be interested. He must like you.
Yeah, well,
You must matter.
We're all interested. Let's just be honest, okay?
I'm just saying. That's the
We all want the vajayjay. We'll just buy it at whatever price you sell it.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
We'll buy it at whatever price you sell it. Well, y'all need to stop dealing with these hoes. Nope, hoes is cheap. We buy them cheap.
Yeah.
It's financially, emotionally, and socially cheap.
So here's a question to everybody. Is hypersexuality equivalent to being desperate or thirsty? Just a girl that's just slanging it and banging it and giving it and throwing it and boomeranging it and stretching it and shrinking it and you know, just giving it up. I'm just saying, is that...
I'm not the only retard on this show. Let's just let that...
I'm just saying, is that equivalent to thirstiness, desperation? Especially if a girl will just give it up in order to be with somebody or to be wanted. If you're giving it up to be wanted, is that thirstiness? Somebody call us at 323-965-1600. What I'm going to do, because I have a whole line of questions here that I'm going to rattle off, and we have another guest in the building.
Oh.
I'm going to take a quick break, and then when somebody said, who is this? Patty in the chat room says, yes, hypersexuality is thirst.
Mm-hmm.
If you leading with your vulva, if I met your vulva before I met your spirit, if I met your vulva before I met the core of who you are, your integrity, then maybe you thirsty. Somebody call us at 323-965-1600. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, questions and a reintroduction of the topic and our special guest in the building right now.
Geoff, don't order any for him.
You stupid, Geoff.
I'm so glad.
Oh, God, we're back in the building. Ladies and gentlemen, Zo What Morning Show, we're back. This topic is crazy. Thirsty love. I just saw in the chat room, Cordaro Marquise says, my generation today believes that you get to know the person through sex, which is sad. That's how we interface.
Wow.
Let's fuck first.
On the most base level.
And find out what's cracking later. Thirsty love. We've got another special guest on the phone. Grammy Award winning. Pushing the poison. You pushing poison to the children.
Poison pusher.
Man.
Writing all this lecherous music.
Oh, man.
Alvin Garrett is on the phone right now. No, he's not
man.
writing bad music. He actually just talked about this great record, a record that I approve of. I like it. It's pretty cold. And Joe's a cold cat anyway.
Oh, my God.
Joe's like Kobe. You know what I mean by that? Let me just say, Kobe's so good that sometimes he goes a little unnoticed. It's just, okay, damn, you can't win the award every year, nigga. Shit.
I only disagree from one place. Kobe has the admiration on the level that he should because of his talent.
So Joe might be more like Michael Redd or somebody, just off in the cut.
Is the Fred McGriff of
the Jeff Ruland.
He's the crime dog. He's Joe is ridiculous. Joe has never let me down.
Terry Teagle of R&B.
That's hilarious. Joe is on my I don't have to hear 30 seconds of it. I'm gonna go buy it list. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't even have to hear it. When Joe come out with something, I go get it. That's my dude.
So really quickly, I got a bunch of questions, and we have another special guest in the building, a female voice. We always love female voices. She has a show here on RMCOnAir.com. It's called Tina Speaks. She's also a life coach. And, you know, I met her yesterday on the Michael Collier show. I just stopped in to holler at Mike for a second. And she's here today to weigh in on the topic of thirsty love.
And she got a pretty mouth. Lord Jesus. I love black women. I swear to God. Okay. Oh, my God. Oh, I'm sorry.
So the younger kids today call it catching feelings. Mm-hmm. That's being thirsty. You know, somebody who feels. I mean, what is going on with our youth today that they feel like catching feelings is a problem? I mean, we really need to dig deep into what is desperation and what isn't. Because I think a lot of the things about relationship seen through the filter of the youth today gets kind of marginalized. Like things that are meaningful, like empathy, turns into you soft or you're a simp, right? I mean, let's just, Doc, you know what simp means? He's having a white moment. I see him struggling. Okay.
How far back do we need to go? Poindexter? Do you know what Poindexter is? Mark, a Clark. You don't know what? None of those ring a bell.
You know, I think a lot of what we're talking about is
I tried.
This is for the 3 white people listening to the show right now, and 2 of them are in the studio.
Jesus.
That's hilarious.
We wasn't talking to y'all anyway.
Well, now I know what it's like to be marginalized. But anyway, I think what we're talking about is people are just driven by what they want. They never get what they need. It's what I want, wow. and so what drives things is what I want. And so these desperate, thirsty people, it's kind of like better give them what they want. And so,
yes,
you keep giving them
but there's no filter though. That's the problem.
Say more.
Right. So the distinction to me, like I say, distinction of identity. What I love to be able to do is just to throw words out there and see what the relationship is with that young person with those words. Because if they don't have an emotional vocabulary, how will they identify what they're feeling? And then it becomes, people do things for 2 reasons: to enter into pleasure or to relieve themselves from pain.
Yes.
Those are the motivators of
If it
life.
feels good, go closer. If it feels bad, run away. Yeah.
But without an emotional vocabulary or emotional index, there's no way to measure the impacts of feel good or feel bad. It becomes right now, right now, right now, right now.
Now let me marry your point to the doc's point in one statement. Ambition is thirst. Now, what I mean by that is
That's
what
what's up.
you're after
That's right.
is created and formulated in most cases, especially as it pertains to relationship, through hurt. So now I'm after this, and I'm going to go get it, and I'm not going to settle for less than. And what they fail to realize is pain helped create the ambition to go after what you now think is important. Now, how many times do you go after what you thought you wanted with your blood, sweat, and tears only to achieve it and be unfulfilled?
Well, if the bed, right, of that ambition is desperation, and we're all humans here, right? So I've had times where, you've had your moments. I did it this way. It hurt my feelings. I'm not going to do it this way anymore. I'm going to do it like this. That's a desperate moment of saying, I'm going to avoid pain, avoid pain, avoid pain, avoid pain. But if I sat down and aligned myself with, what was my participation in this?
Oh, hell no. Accountability?
I had a woman
What?
say to me yesterday, I have not found a good man. Men ain't no good. I said, yeah, but you're choosing. I'm just saying.
Go deeper.
You're the one choosing.
Say more.
I'm just saying. So we need to sharpen the chooser a little bit.
Ooh.
I'm gonna write that down. Sharpen the chooser.
Just
That's
a little bit.
T-shirt.
Just a little bit. Well, I call it tweaking the freak. You got to shift your frequency.
Ooh.
Shift your frequency, because what we want to have these conscious conversations about the law of attraction. I'm going to attract this, and that's great. But the law of attraction is just like gravity; it works all the time. So if you suck, you attract suck.
Ooh.
If you want to attract something different, you have to shift your frequency. So that's lofty for us, and for probably the 4% that watch the Wayne Dyers of the world, right? But for the other 96%, what do? It's a matter of teaching. For me, I'm not saying this is the panacea for everything, just for me and my clients.
Did this sister just say panacea?
That's what she said, and I understood it.
What do you think,
Tweak the
Tina,
freak.
what do you think about this advice? Some advice that I give people that are going out single and going to clubs, whatever. I say, look at all the people there and see who you're attracted to, and then close your eyes for 30 seconds. Don't look like you're having a stroke. They'll call the paramedics in, but just close your eyes for 30 seconds, and then
Tell 'em to
take a
stop
few
doing
breaths,
jokes.
and then look at all the people that you didn't notice. Because somewhere in the group of people you didn't notice is maybe someone you could be happy with. Because
Well,
what
you're giving them the
attracted to.
grocery shopping model, right? Don't go to the grocery store hungry,
Absolutely. So when
right?
absolutely,
Then you
so-
buy junk food.
And that's what happens. So what happens, you get attracted to people that are familiar and who have maybe hurt you before, and this time it's going to be different. So you get attracted to people, and unfortunately it turns out to be the same person. And
You're
you get
re-imprinting your pain, and because that's what we know. That's what we do over and over again.
But
Well, that's-
this is the point we made. Go ahead.
Last
make your
week.
point.
That's what. This
Yeah.
is why I call bullshit when I hear sisters talk about how bad they want good men. If this was the case, then the popular spot on HBCUs would not be the Kappa House. It would be the library and the lab. And them
Yes.
library and lab dudes don't get it until you done put 150,000 miles on it. And now you trying to back the odometer up on it. And it's too late.
What is she backing the odometer
On her cooter, trying to back
On
it
her
up,
cooter.
trying to sitting in talc and
I need to get a notebook just
trying
to take the code.
Alum root and-
alum root, just trying to get no, you done wore that thing out, and now.
Cooter odometer.
In the words of James Hanna, the nice guy never gets the pussy with the new car smell. He never.
Oh, gosh.
Damn.
That's James Hanna. Shout out, Hanna,
But
dog.
that's a conscious. I mean, to me, again, I don't have all the answers, but for me, it's been about consciousness. My whole life has been about
Yes.
consciousness. So one thing that I look at is that a lot of the decisions that we make in the moment are based on consumption. They are based on desperation. Eat it, screw it, have it, possess it. That's based on desperate needs to placate a hole somewhere in you outside of going inside of yourself
To close that hole.
and to take the time to cultivate the cure.
Garrett.
So people
No, go ahead.
You
Go ahead. Finish
said
your point.
Garrett.
No, finish your point because I'm going to go to Garrett after you finish.
want to desperately belong somewhere. And because we can sort of identify within two relationships in our society, and that's screwing and eating. If you feel bad, eat it. Right? Come here, baby. Let me make you some apple pie. That's why we have obesity problem in this country. That's what I'm focusing on for myself and the people around me. right? If you don't want to feel the emotion of it, just deal with the quick hit of it. Sex is a quick hit of it. It feels intimate enough.
Oh, go. Hey, Garrett, can you build on that topic? Because she's saying something that's really big right here about the quick hit. Sex can give you that quick hit, give you that quick high, but there's a crash when you're not connected. When you're not connected spiritually, there's a crash. Go deeper into
Even
that, Garrett.
for dudes.
Yeah,
Even for dudes.
absolutely.
Absolutely, because what most men won't admit is that we do have needs that go deeper than our sexual needs. You know what I'm saying?
Could you break down a few of those though, Garrett, so the listeners can get a piece of that?
A man wants to talk about what he's passionate about. You know what I mean? For me, it's music. So if I'm with a woman, I don't care how bad she is, and say she give it up, but I can't sit down and talk about a song I wrote, I'm eventually going to feel empty. And I'm not going to speak to her. I mean, I may find somebody else that I can talk to and get what I may want in those areas. But the deeper line issue is that I need communication. I need companionship, not just the sex. So most men won't admit that because they really haven't got to know themselves past their sexual desires. But the truth of the matter is, as you get older, you start realizing that I need a companion. And I can't stand a dumb woman. I'm going to just be honest.
Oh, thank you, Lord. Can you repeat that, please?
I can't stand a dumb woman because, because...
That's his next miss. Yeah, there ain't going to be no hit.
I can't stand a dumb woman.
I can't. I mean, and some women, they really believe
dumb asses coming.
That all they got to do is meet a sexual need, and that's good enough to bug you about everything else they want. You follow me?
Oh, yeah, brother. Yeah.
But that's hostage taking, right? So you have two people operating in a position of taking the pussy or the money hostage.
Right.
Right? So you have no real conversation there. You have nothing because you have two polarities determined already and decided already to be in polar opposites and be in complete counter.
Right.
So, I mean, I just appeal to people to look at the humanity of it. It's not a male or female issue. You want the same thing I want. At the end of the day, we want to belong.
But you know what?
We have different vocabularies and we have different ways of approaching the situation. But there's been some barriers, some of it contrived, some of it is baggage we brought to the table that has nothing to do with the current relationship.
Right.
And we're making other people pay for it. And that's really making someone your victim. Right. Or being predatory because you're screwed up and you're still going forward.
Right.
That's predatory, right?
Wow.
But you know what? That's kind of what we covered last week.
I know. I love that show.
Dropping nukes over there.
I love that show last week.
That's kind of what we covered last week when we talked about dating a person's coping mechanism.
I love that.
Right? And when I say you dating a coping mechanism, just look at it this way. There's a bridge. Forgiveness is on the far end of the bridge. And trauma or pain is on the near end of the bridge. What happens is when you cross the bridge at trauma, pain, relationship difficulty, hurt, all of that, by the time you get to the middle of the bridge, you're in coping mode.
Yeah.
Because what happens is once you get hurt, you find ways to deal.
Yeah. Instead of coaching.
And coping helps you deal.
Yeah.
For some people, I'm going to go get some new dick is the coping mechanism. Or I'm going to get some sex, or I'm going to get some food, or I'm going to get some drugs, I'm going to get some entertainment, I'm going to get something to get me away from sitting with the pain. Most people don't understand the quality that pain brings to your life. Pain has gifts.
It has gifts, and you have to determine, and this is what I had to do with my life. People look at, you're a coach, or you're this, you're a counselor, and so I'm a human first. And I became these things because I asked the question. So when I had problems in my marriage, why was I having problems in my marriage? What was happening with my husband? How can I support him? How can I be his helpmate? When 9/11 hit, what happened in him? And instead of just going, I can't deal with you, blah, 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 blah. No, that was more than anything, he's my friend. And we had children together. I walked through the process with him. I just so happened to study, be a little ambitious, and got my master's degree in clinical crisis psychology because I wanted to help my family. That was my core objective. It was not about, I want to be the expert in a space. So I acknowledge my pain.
If you can, elaborate on 9/11 and your husband? I'm a little lost. When you say when that happened to him, what was he?
He walked through it. He actually was there. He came back with human remains on him.
Oh, he was there. Wow.
Wow.
And he was also in Persian Gulf before that.
Wow.
So
Okay.
you're dealing with very acute PTSD.
Right.
And we were also pastors at
Okay.
the time. So we had a lot of counseling to do. We had a lot of crisis recovery to do.
Right.
And then he found himself not able to be the help.
Because you trying to patch folk up, and you wounded.
You're
Right.
wounded.
You wounded. Yeah.
Right.
They're wounded. And that's the biggest mistake a lot of us made. Like you said, get new situations. Instead of stopping and going, honestly, I'm hurt.
Step out the back.
I can't do this right now.
Hurt.
I need to put my own oxygen mask on first,
Right.
before I put it on the person next to me.
Right.
And being honest and congruent and not taking that as a form of weakness. That's your strongest point.
Right.
If we determine to, instead of just going through something, to grow through it.
Oh, but see, that's the beauty of it. Hurt is your housemate.
Yeah.
Now, if you treat it with hospitality,
I
it
love
will
your
move
phraseology, by the
on.
way.
It'll move on and leave gifts.
Mm-hmm.
But if you resist it, what we resist persists.
Exactly. And what you avoid is controlling your life.
And that's what I mean by ambitious. So we'll create a whole bunch of coping mechanism rules, and now that is what our partner has to live up to.
Well, look, my daddy used to say when you're dealing with ambition from a man or female relationship and it's targeted towards each other, he says ambition will have you dealing with dumb bitches.
Ambition will have
You're
you
gonna
dealing
have it
with
show-
dumb bitches.
And that's, and I'm just going to qualify this.
Song somewhere.
When you have
I just said Alvin Garrett's next big hit.
women saying that men are dogs,
Have you
they're only
dealing-
dogs, then you don't need to be that dog food. And that's not a polarity and
Don't be
gentrification.
dog food.
There's a distinction, right? Of consciousness and coming together as humans, not I'm a woman, you're a male, I'm gonna get this from you, I'm gonna get that from you. Forget that. Come
Alvin.
into agreement with the humanity.
Alvin, dude, I know you've heard. He's singing
I
now.
like how you was in the falsetto. That was good.
Oh, that's where I live, player.
I know you're listening to this. Now, as a songwriter, what can you take away from this? Like, what inspires you to write records? Because
Nothing. You niggas have said nothing about hits.
Right.
You've said nothing.
we won't make no money off this conversation. Shit. I'm just saying, you know.
It's a bridge, man. You have to transition through the music, you know, because I will say I'm on the side of you guys, and you know, we don't need this desperation. You know, we need real love. You know, you need real connection between man and woman. I say it, man and woman. That's what I stand for. So, but you also have to keep in mind that you do have a condition of the ears. People are used to hearing a certain thing, so you have to give them a little bit of what they are used to and transition them into something that you believe they want. So as a songwriter, I can write records that are dumbed down because that's my job. But as a artist,
How
and
heavy was
for
that
what
statement?
I stand for, I have a certain thing that I want to communicate through my music, which is on my album. And when I get on stage, I'm presenting my own view. As a writer, you know, to get that check, you're right. I might talk about, hey, let me get you out the club and, you know, take you where you need to go.
Well, can you
could
name
judge
one
me
of
if
those
you want.
records? Can you name one of those records? Because I know you got one. I know somebody's singing one of your records to say "Clap Your Booty Cheek." Let's hear
No,
it.
I don't say clap your booty cheeks.
Well, in the words of Prince, art and money do not mix.
Wow. Wow.
Art and money don't mix, because art is supposed to be is usually the purest form of expression coming from a soul. And if that is tainted by I need a bigger car, I want to build a deck on the back of my house, then it's not art anymore. Now it becomes production. It becomes something on a conveyor belt.
Well, you have to have a balance, man. You have to
absolutely.
have a balance of that true art as well as that production that you mentioned, because otherwise you can't afford to be in the business.
Well,
Listen,
I
art.
did-
For these kids, art is dumb.
Well-
Okay, I don't want nothing arty. What I want is a record that conveys what I'm talking about. And if somebody is trying to holler at me because I got bread, they thirsty. If somebody trying to
Right.
get at me just for my sex, they thirsty.
They're thirsty.
Right? That's how these young kids are viewing this whole get down.
Well, can we go back on
Hey, they texting me too much.
yeah.
Thirsty.
Yeah.
You calling me too much. Thirsty. You crowding me. Thirsty. That's how they're looking at this. And unfortunately, you got people out there that are so thirsty. How about this scenario? What about the person, and I'm sure we've all experienced this before, even the doc before he got old and grape-like, even the doc. What about, what's wrong, Geoff?
Geoff Brown slowly dies out of his chair.
No.
Old and grape-like?
Well, you know, old people get wrinkled.
I'm going to steal that.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying, we've all had that person in our lives that no matter what time o'clock, it could be hell o'clock. You call them and they'll come.
Hello? Anytime you call, they were
4 in the morning. Hey, I need you up over here right now. Okay, I got an itch that needs to be scratched, and they're there. That's a kind of desperation, but how does a person, I'm talking about the person that is desperate, how do they then acknowledge that and then say, hey, wait a minute, I'm being used. I'm being mistreated. How does someone awaken to that knowledge? Dr. Goulston?
How does the person who's
the
being
desperate
used?
Person
is being used?
that's getting a phone call at 4 in the morning. You ain't never called up.
Can I paint? Let me paint it for you since you okay.
The desperate person's making the call or getting the call?
Let me.
Doc,
they get the call. Can I paint it?
Booty call?
Can I paint it?
Okay, let's help the doc out. Jesus.
Is that the number to call on the screen?
Okay. I'm that.
Whitey locks.
I'm that dude. Okay, I'm that dude, which means I'm doing well for myself. I'll paraphrase. I'm that dude. I get home from the club. Maybe my girl is in France. Maybe I get down like that. You know, my girl ain't nowhere around. I didn't score. I didn't see nothing I liked at the club. This is that kind of dude. I'm that dude. I ain't see nothing I liked at the club. So I pick up the phone and I call this girl that I know. Every time I pick up the phone.
That's funny. That I know.
She's a donut spare. I don't ever. She ain't never on the road for real. She ain't never gonna be on the road for real. In my mind, she does not deserve to be on the road for real. But I know when I call this number because I drive a Porsche C2 and my house overlooks the water, and she thinks because I'm so obsessed, I'm so self-obsessed with what strong looks like as opposed to what strong is, that I've put up this wall that she thinks she needs to climb. How does she ever get to the point where she don't want to climb that wall no more?
I don't even know if that's a good enough example for the dog. Look at his face.
He like, really?
Do you get it, Doc?
Black people live like that?
Well, no, I think it gets back to what Tina was saying, and she's got a pause about what do I really want, what do I really need, and what's going to get me what I want, what's going to get me what I need. And so if what she really needs is to one day be respected so that one day she can have respect for herself, is being there at your beck and call going to help her. Now, she may not be conscious enough to know that she would like some self-respect as long as you're calling her and she's thirsty and she's hungry. I want to say a couple words about this word desperate because we've used it a little bit, and I love language. Can I do?
Yeah, sure.
She got to move.
Despair.
Yeah, I do a lot of work. I used to do a lot of work with suicidal people, and I used to give talks on that.
It's about to be deep. This is in my book. You know I stole it from you. Thanks.
So I'm actually giving a free talk at UCLA next Wednesday, which is open to the public for the National Alliance and Mentally Ill. How do you talk to someone with mental illness in your family? 7 to 8:30 p.m. at UCLA. But what black
community
very
should show
carefully.
Well, I hope so. But part of what I talk about is this word despair. And despair, if you break it down into DES and PAIR, what it means, des means un. So despair means feeling unpaired. And when you look at the world, it seems everybody in the world is paired with hope, but you're not. So you are hopeless. Everybody in the world
and
is
hope
paired
deferred
with
makes
worth.
the heart sick.
Yeah. But you are worthless. Everybody in the world is paired with help, but you are not, so you are helpless. And so what desperate to me means is that when all the tumblers on that slot machine line up and you're hopeless, worthless, useless, pointless, meaningless, probably some other things.
You got all the
you
less.
get all
All
those
the less.
lesses. So
Food
when
for
you are
less.
when you are without anything and everything, then you become desperate. And so that's when you just give up on whatever you're going to do is going to mean to you later on. And so, but I agree with Tina. It's you got to pause. Now, one of the problems with a lot of these people is when they pause, the pain from inside.
It just floods them.
They have been running from, and they don't know that you have to feel that pain to heal it, but they're afraid that if they feel it, it will wash them away.
You have to feel
and
that
you have
pain to heal
Gotta
it.
feel
That's
it to
right.
heal.
I mean, there's a poetic meditation that I write. I have my clients learn that I wrote, and a piece of it says, "This is my pause. This is my time right now to stop and pause. I breathe in. I breathe out. I live in my moment right now. I shed off desperation, pain, fear, guilt. I shed it off like a hot winter coat in August. I live in my now, right now, and I embody all that I can be and receive my identity and alignment of my now. Not desperation, but destiny. I'm here now to live and and be a gift to all those who receive me."
You know, something I've been saying to a number of clients.
Yes.
And Tina, I don't know if you can relate to this.
Love this story.
That's
that
what
was
you do. That's what you do at the end of great
Like the
poetry. Something I say to a number of clients, and I don't know, Tina, you're welcome to take this if it works. But a number of people, and they're more often than women than men, but even the men can relate to this. Sometimes people who tend to be a little bit controlling and need to be in control, and they can't leave anything to chance. So you know those people. There's a number of them in this room here. And but when I say to them, you know what you're really afraid of? They say what? I said, you're not afraid of being rejected, you know, because you're all defended against that. You're not afraid of being taken advantage of, because you're all defended against that. You know what you're really afraid of? What? You're afraid of being 100% emotionally safe and not having to do anything to get it. Because if you were 100% emotionally safe, the pain from beyond memory would start to swell up because all of you has adapted to the world being unsafe. Albert Einstein said that one of the most important things a human being can decide in this world is whether they're safe or unsafe.
Safe, that's right. Wow. It goes right there into Maslow's sense of need, right? The things that we need: safety, security, community, food, all those things being part of what human needs are. And I love what you said, so in reference to that pain being a catalyst, right? When my mother died in 2010, I was already counseling, speaking in national audiences, traveling, doing all kinds of things. And then the worst thing that could have possibly have happened. My best friend was gone.
Oh, wow.
She was gone. I have the same birthday. We sang on the same platforms. We looked alike, same energy. She's just brilliant energy that was that's very missed. But when she passed, I realized, looking at her, that I had a responsibility. I had an ability to respond. My mother died of type 2 obesity, diabetes. And then my father had 2 heart attacks. And then right after that, I was diagnosed with severe cardiomyopathy, rheumatoid fibromyalgia, all stress factors. Because of the fact, as a female, I was conditioned to believe, I don't do what I want to do, I'm going to do what I have to do. I need to go get my paper. I need to go get my check. If I'm not dead, I'm going to keep it moving, right? Take care of my kids, keep it moving. My body made a decision for me and shut me all the way down.
Yeah,
where I was in a fetal position on 8 different types of medication. It was literally through that desperation to my destiny, where my vision became bigger than my circumstances, that I was able to make a shift. I became more passionate about my clients, more passionate about the platforms that we're on.
You got to talk
because
slow.
If we have 2 seconds with a person and we can inject that hope in the now, and their vision is bigger than the things that circle where they stand, their circumstances, they have a chance for that moment to choose something different.
Wow,
That's
circumstance.
awesome.
Whoa. Slow down. Did anybody get that?
No.
Circumstances. What circles where you stand.
It's not yours.
Damn.
It's just around you. You can choose to grab out and pull it in, or you can.
Okay, Tina.
But listen, hold on, Doc, because we have to
no.
take a quick break. Hold on, Doc. We got to take a quick break. Just take it in. We're going to come back to this. When we come back, we're going to rephrase the topic, set it back up, ask them more questions. Doc has a question for Tina. It's going to be great. I hope you guys are learning something because this is cold. We'll be back at 2.2. Holla at us. Ladies and gentlemen, So What Mornings back in the building. It is the show that's starring you. Yo, we got some good information going here. I'm trying to tell you that the purpose of the show is to bend your mentality. You know, try to break it, find the chinks in it so you can now know what to work on from the inside out. And that's the purpose of the show, the So What Morning Show. I'm here with Geoff Brown, internationally known comedian, extraordinaire actor, just general
Renaissance man, I like to call myself.
Renaissance man in the third world, right? Third world Renaissance man, right? Geoff Brown.
Stealing today.
Geoff Brown, of course, none other than internationally known author, best-selling author, Dr. Mark Goulston. You know, Whitey Locks, OG Whitey Locks. You got to respect him.
Yeah.
Author of Real Influence as well as Just Listen, two incredible books. And, of course, new friend and station mate.
Yes, we cousin them.
Yeah, cousin in them, Tina Speaks, who also has a show here on RMCOnAir.com. We're having a great time. The topic is crazy. And, of course, on the line, Grammy award-winning songwriter
Alvin Garrett.
And pimp to the children.
Yes, we got the
Children
that's
pimp.
hilarious.
The Pied Piper.
Oh my God.
No, I think the Pied Piper would be R. Kelly.
Yes.
Yes, we're gonna have to. Yeah, he might be the
I
devil.
tell you what though, you got to give it to him. R. Kelly is the closest thing to Marvin Gaye since Marvin
So
Gaye.
what you want to do is support Chicago. I already see where you at.
No.
I already see.
No. I listen to R. Kelly music. He just can't babysit my nieces. That's all. Okay, you got to put shit in compartments.
You got it compartmentalized.
To the terrain.
I'm gonna throw Raid out because I can't drink it? No, I'm gonna kill bugs with it and I put it back. Sometimes shit ain't as complicated as you want to make it.
That's right.
Alvin Garrett on the line with us right now. Dr. Mark Goulston had a question for Tina before the break. Doc, what's the question? Did you remember? Is it a Geritol moment?
Well, we're going in it is a Geritol moment. We're going in a different direction. But you know, Tina, you strike me as someone who is more aspiring than ambitious. Ambitious means you got to get something. Aspiring is you're becoming something. You're already there.
I thank you for that. And I just heard the title of your book, which I would love to talk to you about. My the book is called The Real, which is Results Empowered Authentic Living, based on me rebooting my life, walking through this conversation about, where we are talking about sex right now. The hankering for sex is the same hankering for food and how we sort of sedate ourselves. And in this country, I think that the number one terrorist in this country is obesity. And I've been blessed to have Eric O'Neill advise me, who is the curriculum designer for the White House, for the MOVE program, to have me address this issue to the Black and Latino population. As I'm walking through it, I'm off of all 8 medications.
Fantastic.
Wow.
Medications.
Fantastic.
And where a lot of people try to move forward and wait, they're sick and they don't know they're sick and they're afraid to go to the doctors. They're afraid to have the conversation. So I take cameras into the doctor's office. I explain the diagnosis. I explain these things so that they'll have the courage to go themselves. Even when it comes to sexuality, we talk about the hankering for consumptive sexuality in this hypersexualized age. And when you have, 4.2 trillion bits of information coming at you today, that's our kids, as to the 700,000 kilobytes of information we had probably in the 70s and the 80s. You only have 5, and there's 5 decisions that you can make within a minute to 2 minutes. Very difficult to get in between that filter without unplugging. Wow. So if we can just stop the noise for a minute, just stop the noise. And I found the best way to stop that noise is through love.
Wow.
Okay.
Love is rare, though. That's a high consciousness. That's at the top of Maslow's pyramid.
Starts with you.
Self-actualization.
I got a question and I got a statement.
Go ahead.
Question: when you say you are off of the medications, just if I may ask, and you don't have to answer, do you at this point smoke weed by any chance?
No.
Okay, that's
Do you
magical.
eat weed?
I don't eat weed, even though I did have an incident a few weeks ago where I was eating granny mints, I thought, and I ate.
Had an edible?
It was,
Oh, my
it was
God.
8 of them. So by the end of the night, we were shooting the reality show, and I'm like, these candies are really good. And by the end of
Nobody
the-
stopped you?
They were like, what are you eating? I'm like, these little granny candies, they're unmarked.
And then she had a
by the end
conversation
of
with
the-
Napoleon.
Then
Yeah.
by the end of the night, my executive
Yeah.
producer's like, come on, we got to go. You got to go judge this vocal contest. And I'm like,
Everybody wins.
You're not bossing me. Don't tell me what to do. He's
Oh.
like,
What happened?
Shit. Somebody was across the room, saw that shit. They saw
Someone
that.
was laughing
There-
behind
Don't no
us.
edibles just be sitting out. Somebody
I
saw
think they
that.
wanted some juice in the reality show, so they wanted to add an extra subplot.
And I want to make this statement
Go ahead.
about the to the chat room. In general, those of you who are typing and don't call, what the fuck? Call.
Geoff,
and
Geoff. Geoff,
What?
leave these folk alone.
No.
Leave them alone.
No,
Leave
because
them be now.
and to those of you, and I'm gonna call names. Give it up. I'm telling you. In my opinion, and it's too late to change your road. I'm gonna talk about what you said. I'm gonna scroll back up. You ain't change the fuck you changing your road. To me, anyone online or any other place who types what they cannot
Look,
say
see,
is
shorty girl.
cowardly.
She said I can't call because I'm at work. Some of these people at work, Jeff.
Well, everybody's at work. It's
You want
everybody
them under
at
the
work.
table,
It's
in the cubicle.
everyone at
Patty.
work.
Now,
I
what
didn't know.
you had said
Okay.
about
Shouting
the
out
hurt.
to them.
That's hilarious.
You had said hurt is coming on a bridge. What did the bridge? They can't do that,
Right,
Jeff.
and then some of them don't have the kind of jobs where you can call because, be stuff going on the work.
bro, I'm at work listening. LOL, exactly, Zoe. I'm at work, goddammit.
Okay, is everyone at work?
Yes, everyone's at work.
Everyone's
Jeff.
at work? Well, then I retract my statement. I don't have a problem backpedaling.
Is the
No,
humility.
but let's go back to the topic. And I'm going to start with...
class too.
Huh? What? Oh, I'm in class listening on my headphones.
That's hilarious.
Somebody gonna fail. Shit.
Zoe, I have a gift for you that I would like to present to you that I just found. Do you mind 1 minute, 2 minutes?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Give me some. I take stuff all the time. I receive
I'm a
things.
pimp. Of course I'm a pimp.
No, but you guys said some great points, and I wanted to start with Alvin on this. We live in a capitalistic society.
Right.
This is a consumer-based society. You hear TD Jakes talking about this all the time. All we do is go get, consume, right? And the doc just mentioned we're always looking for what we can get. Now, all of these things, capitalism, consumerism, and getting, align directly to the point about ambition. Ambition is thirst. Now, to take it even deeper, the doc says something great. Ambition versus aspiring. Right? Now, see, this is the point of this show. We live in a society where these young guys, these young kids, these girls, everybody is about getting over it. Oh, I'm over it. I've moved on. That don't bother. I'm done. On to the next one. Next chapter. What you fail to realize is when you get hurt and you create a coping mechanism, right? That's really now a callus.
It's a psychic
It's
wall,
it's
too.
a covering. It blocks you from what you need to be doing. And we talked about it earlier in the show. Sit with the pain.
Lean into it.
Lean into it. Embrace
Don't lean
the
back.
pain.
Lean in.
Embrace the pain. This is what I'm trying to say. A lot of us, how many people you know, young people, old people, people still dealing with shit that happened 20, 30 years ago who learned how to put the mask on? To me, the mask is the callus.
That is the callus. And what I love that we get
But
to do.
wait, I wanted to go to Alvin first and then we'll come back to Tina. Alvin,
Yes.
do you have any music that addresses this callus I'm speaking of?
Yes, man. Honestly, I got a song called Expose Yourself. Now, off the jump, it sounds like it's just sexual, but it's not just sexual, you know. Like you said, those calluses, those masks that we put on, that could be fears, that could be hurts, and it truly prevents us from being intimate. Like, not just sexual, but intimate and really connecting with a person. So we tell them what we think we want them to hear, that they want to hear, and we create this fake love, this fake sex type of thing, as opposed to really taking off all those masks saying, you know what, I've been hurt before, or you know what, I was touched, you know, in ways I didn't need to be touched when I was younger. You know, be gentle with me. You know, people don't talk to each other like that no more. And then we go in acting all freaky. We're really not connecting spiritually, physically, and emotionally. So my song is called Take It Off. There's nothing more beautiful than your skin, which is you being exactly who God made you to be. Just be that.
Vulnerable. It's a song about vulnerability.
I love that.
Yes, exactly. Expose yourself. Be vulnerable.
Talk to me about that, Doc. Vulnerability. And why is it so difficult for most people to be vulnerable? I think if you're incapable of being vulnerable, then you're definitely thirsty. You're definitely spiritually
callous.
dehydrated. You're callous. Go
Well,
ahead.
I think one of the reasons people are afraid of being vulnerable, and vulnerable can mean open. It doesn't necessarily mean you're in danger. When you're vulnerable, you're open. But a lot of people see vulnerable as being in danger. And one of the reasons people go away from that, one of the reasons people build calluses, is that a lot of times when we go through a trauma, we don't know how we made it through, but we are convinced that if it happened again, we won't make it through the next time. So what happens is, and in fact, I wrote a book on PTSD called PTSD for Dummies.
How many books did you write?
6. And I want to change. And I want to change. I want to relabel.
I ain't got time to write in my day planner, and you done wrote 6 books. I got to do something about my time management.
No, but I would like to take away the name PTSD because it's kind of a useless term. What it really is it's re-traumatization avoidance. Because what happens is when you've been traumatized at the level people have been traumatized in war, in 9/11, rape.
Pavlov.
What?
Pavlov experiment.
Right. It goes all the way to your core. And what happens is you have this feeling, you don't know how you made it through, but the next trauma will shatter you. So you live in psychological limbo, and your coping mechanisms are a way of avoiding being re-traumatized, but you never heal. So you never step into life with both feet, with full vitality. And when I talk to these people, what they say is they're tentative. It's good to be discerning. It's good to be cautious. I say, what do you mean by tentative? And they kind of smile and they say, I kind of look too much before I leap. I kind of look too much before I even walk.
Instead of walking as far as you can go, and when you get there, you see more.
They say, I look where I'm going. I don't go where I'm looking anymore.
Wow.
And so the key is, and what I was going to ask you before, because we had an opportunity, and I don't know if I can change the tone of this, but when I had mentioned something about that some people have a fear of being totally safe. And I was looking at you, and then you shared something. You said, not too long ago, my mom died. She's part of my identity. I knew I had to go on. My dad had all these illnesses. Then I realized I had all these illnesses and all these medications. And I think we have an opportunity, Tina. You don't have to do it. But you were talking about you hit ground zero and turned a corner.
With 5 coaches.
And if you can share that it's possible to be at ground zero and turn a corner, I think there's a lot of people who listen to us who know what ground zero is, and they avoid it because they don't think you can turn a corner. So if you can share that as opposed to selling anything with your passion, I'd love to hear what that was like for you.
Well, it is selling something with my passion, because passion is contagious, and that same passion, I pray, transfers to the audience. Right?
Talk about ground zero.
So ground zero wasn't necessarily just ground zero; it was being stripped down to the hubcap. You guys know what that means. You have nothing. You have no rims. You don't have no paint. It's all rust. You're just frame. And so I was still breathing. I mean, I literally had a thought that if I could stop breathing right now, it would be okay. And I kept breathing. I made a decision at that moment. In each breath, that's a second by second thing. That if I'm going to continue to breathe, then my life is going to be a testimony to whatever this is I'm walking through. And then,
so what did you mean if I could just stop breathing, it would be okay?
That meant I was at such a place of despair and desperation. And plus, I was so medicated with pain pills that I couldn't think.
Yeah.
Wow.
I couldn't think at all. That I'm just like, what am I can't even think. I can't even write. I can't even speak. I can't even make a phone call for help.
So I would be okay if I was over.
Dead. If I was dead, I would have been okay. And then I kept breathing. And as I kept breathing, I realized even this is the only thing that I could do right now. This must be productive. And it became productive where my breath intentionally was a prayer.
Wow.
Nothing, no 12 steps to the close. No, it was just, God, I don't know how, I don't know why, I don't know when, but 911. That's it.
Wow.
And if I'm going to be here, help me to walk through this so I can help others walk through it and know that they're not by themselves.
So do you think what happened, because I'm trying to put myself there, is life became very simple.
Very.
And then you built, but simple and pure. Either it's all going to stop, it's all going to be over, or it's going to start. And it started to start, and you built on it. And
it was my reboot.
And so you feel more solid from the inside out, and you keep adding to it.
It's a blessing. I mean, you said pain can catalyze, hurt can catalyze. I've had the psychic, emotional, physical opportunity to rebuild my entire life and decide everything in my life. It's awesome. And not from a place of control, but from a place of wonderment. you know, a place of adventure. And the things that I was afraid of because I had to do things the right way. I went to college, I got married, I did this, I did everything the quote unquote right way. Now it's just the way for me to be.
Wow.
Because I'm a human being, I'm not a human doing. Yeah. So I'm just going to be.
Oh, I love it. Jesus. Alvin, I want to go to Alvin right now. Just hold on.
Thank you.
That was awesome.
Thank you.
Because this is the purpose of this show, is to touch people in such a way that they change the way they... And it isn't necessarily about changing people. It's about just providing an alternative perspective so they can see something different.
Yes.
And maybe they could pick something up. Maybe some of it works, some of it doesn't. But the stuff that works helps change and alter who they are.
Yes.
And I think that's great. Alvin, let me ask you this. When it comes to these records that you're now responsible for and listening to this kind of content, I'm serious. I'm dead ass serious. Do you think the record industry will give you an opportunity to make a record that could contain some serious... Because this is what I say. These are like the prophets of the streets right now. Lil Wayne is a prophet of the street. You know, who's little Chief Keef and all these young dudes and what's the other boy? The little rapper boy that battled and dissed everybody.
Kendrick
Lamar. Yeah, these guys are the prophets of the streets. What they say goes. They write the rules. So how do we find a way to make this kind of interaction, this type of understanding, meaningful and translatable to the kids? Dude, you're a gatekeeper. I need a record.
You know what, man? Geoff said something earlier that I didn't get a chance to comment on. He said women could change music tomorrow. He said if women stop allowing you to get at them with the stuff that...
So you blaming women?
Yeah, I don't blame women.
Yeah, you are.
But no,
Geoff,
I'm not blaming women.
Is he blaming women?
But the truth of the matter is, we say what we need to say, and we say it how we need to say it to make that connection. You know what I mean? And to speak on your point, musically, it has to be a slow transition. It's not going to be overnight. I've had some experiences where I've been around the youngins, as you would call them. You know, guys is, you know, smoked up. They just chilling, listening to the thug music. And I turned on some of that soulful music. Yo, and they still smoking. They're like, yo, man, turn that up. That's hot, man. It reminds you of old Sam Cooke. And they got into it. But at the end of the day, it's not that they don't like it. They just don't hear it. They got to be exposed to it. And you know what? The girls came in, and they started dancing. You know what the fellas did? They were like, hey. They gravitated to that connection with my music playing, and it wasn't boom, boom, boom. It was just some old love type music with some real instruments.
Brother,
it takes time.
Brother Alvin, I'm going to need to get your information off the air because I am a firm believer of if you will build it, they will come.
Yeah,
I agree.
I also am a believer that the music industry is a dying dinosaur because of the internet. Yes. Yeah. Now, I am in the process of developing something called Fuck the Radio. And I would love to involve you where this is a place where established artists and brand new artists come to the same ground to a radio station music movement live performance type joint where people can buy your music here, they can hear you here, they can get your dates here, and I am a firm believer.
Sign me up.
Yeah, dude, I refuse to believe that there aren't 2 million people that would give Joe $1 if they knew where he was and they knew how to give it to him directly.
Right.
Now, this is what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to play devil's advocate.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to say content, consciousness, in a lot of ways, is like money. You hear the rich people say all the time, we could redistribute the wealth. You just go buy chicken and Cadillacs and give it right back to us, right?
Chicken and Cadillacs.
Chicken, Cadillacs, and grits. You give
this Cadillac comes with a year's supply of chicken.
Right.
And Kool-Aid.
Right. But I believe consciousness is the same way. And the reason why I'm playing devil's advocate, because now I'm in favor of Alvin as a professional writer. Because at the end of the day, he can write all the conscious music in the world. That doesn't mean they're going to listen to it or like it or appreciate it or approve of it or anything like that. You can't change the mind of those who are in a different consciousness. Why? because they see things from where they are.
That's right.
They're not going to be able to. Some might be inspired. Some it's got to be able to get
It's
in
got to
them.
be incendiary.
Well, fuck the rest of them. See, that's the other thing I think.
Oh, wait, Jeff, we
I'm
got
a
a caller.
fascist. Oh my God, a caller.
Jeff,
They're gone.
Oh, they're gone. Okay.
They went bye-bye.
I feel like there's been a nuclear disaster, and there's like us
No,
and 200 other people on the
there's
air.
a caller.
They're on.
They're on.
Caller.
Hello?
Yeah, speak to
Oh,
him,
yeah,
brother.
speak if you calling. Hey, what's up?
What's going on, Zoe?
What's happening?
Geoff, the doctor, this is Soul Wonder. How y'all doing?
Oh, what's up, Soul Wonder? How you been,
Welcome
brother?
back, man.
I've been good. I'm glad to hear y'all back on.
How is your health? How are you?
You ain't gonna let him talk, Jeff?
No. How are you?
Cousin Geoff, I had the gastric bypass surgery about 3 months ago, and I've lost 80 pounds.
There we go. Fantastic,
All right.
brother.
Yeah.
Fantastic. All right. Now,
You been
what's
reintroduced to your wood?
up? Yeah.
You lose 80 pounds, you're gonna get reintroduced
Yeah,
to
if
your
you
wood.
lose belly, you gain
You have-
dick.
You have no idea, sir. You have no idea.
Fantastic, brother. What's up?
I guess my comment is still talking about something I'm loving and passionate about, the music industry. I think that radio is probably the most powerful entity in the music business.
Come on, man.
It influences everything, and I think what's lacking is balance on the radio. That's why you can't hear somebody like Joe, because Joe is only on a certain station. Joe is not on the main station. You know, so that I think that's the issue is the labels and the program directors
The
wanted to
gentrification.
have balance. They can't. There's a reason why they're pumping that bullshit on the radio.
Yeah, because it's paid for.
Here.
It's paid for. All radio is paid for.
Yes.
The
Yes.
top 40 songs on the radio are paid for by the labels. That's why they have their position on top 40 radio. That's why you hear them all day in rotation all the time. But let me just say this, Soul Wonder, it's been a long time, and we appreciate you calling in, man. Thanks for reaching out. And the reason why I put the onus and the reason why I put the onus on him. Oh, we have another caller. I'll go to them in a second. The reason why we put the onus on the writer is because. Have you ever gone on YouTube and looked up the making of the Thriller album?
And yeah, talking about
And
Rod
then they
Temperton.
go in the studio with Mike and Rod Temperton and Quincy. The attention to detail, the attention, the focus on doing something that's never been done before, creating wonderment, like, oh my God, we're creating
People don't
something
take pride,
that's
that's why.
going to change the world.
I started as an artist.
You know?
I was a vocalist, and my brother, he was still a very great producer. And so I used to watch the process because I managed him and other people. As you're talking about returning to the music, we were blessed to produce little talent shows at Mount Vernon High School way long time ago. Little people doing the running man behind, Heavy D, Monifa, and those cats. So we worked with those people, and the creativity that you saw every single day. You didn't think about who you're gonna get, who you're gonna do. It was the music,
Right.
the music, the music.
That's a great point. We got another caller. Caller, come in. You're on the line. Call us. Where are you calling from and what's your name?
Hello.
Caller.
They're gone.
Next.
Hello, Alvin. Question, brother. I wonder how you feel about this. I have a theory on one of the reasons that music is where it is because it has become too easy to make.
Oh man,
It's become
Yes.
too easy to
Okay.
make.
It has become music has become too easy to make. What people will
man,
accept.
dude, Jeff, you're absolutely right, man.
There was
you can go down to your local, Guitar Center, pick up a little computer and Fruity Loops, and you can get on the radio.
And
no
you can get
talent
on
at
the
all.
radio.
I mean, I hate to say it.
That's the truth. There was a time when the game was talent and cost prohibitive, and I think the tipping point was when music was at its zenith to me with technology and ability. Was where Babyface came from, where Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis came from, where
Right.
there was
Well, now we
technology
sounding like-
was high and ability was high,
But now-
and that's where you get this.
Now we sound like some old men
But
that's
you know
just
what,
on the
though? There's no-
sideline
Well,
hating.
I don't. No. I don't mind sounding old. What I mind is being on the sideline. The concept of old. The only place the concept
You
of
mad,
old.
huh?
Yes. The only place that the concept of old has any weight is in new black music. You can't tell the Rolling Stones they old. They ain't being kicked out of rock and roll. You ain't
Exactly.
You can't-
ain't
you
being
can't
kicked
tell
out.
them they old.
Niggas are the only people that go, you over 35, fuck your thoughts. That nobody else does that.
Yo, we got
Y'all mad
callers.
about it.
We got callers. Let's get these callers on. Caller, you're on.
Hello, are you guys there?
Hey, sis, what's up?
Hey. Hey, I wasn't really going to make a comment about the music. This is Andrea calling from St. Louis. I just wanted to speak on the thirst and then something else that I hear a lot. But I think that we're all kind of thirsty for attention or love
Yeah.
from people. I just think that you don't have to drink everything.
That's
Because
right.
if you drink salt, you're going to end up more thirsty.
Ooh,
So,
back up.
you want to
Up.
be careful.
Uh-oh, did she just say, just because you thirsty don't mean you got to drink everything?
That's right.
Go ahead,
You know,
Mama.
I mean, and another point that I wanted to make is a lot of times we say, well, what are you attracting? You're meeting all these bad women or these these bad guys, but you attract everything when you go out.
Come on,
I'm not
baby.
single, but so I mean, what are you accepting is more of what I
Yes.
want to. You know what I mean? Not what are you attracting. A thirsty man is going to be a thirsty man. He's going to holler at everybody that he sees. Walmart, grocery store, Kroger, but why are you accepting that? So I don't too much think that, that karma, you're going to attract this bad guy, you're going to attract this good person. You know, you attract people good and bad. Just don't, if it's bad, just kind of walk
Cultivate
away
the
from it.
chooser.
Wow, that's a great caller. We appreciate the reach out. Thank you so much, sister, from St. Louis. Damn.
Zoe,
She
I would love for you to hear the gift that we have for you.
We
I
got to
think-
hear the doc.
before
What
the
the
end.
doc was going to say something.
but she brings up a point, which is, can thirsty people pause and realize they have a choice?
Huh.
Because when you're I think if you're in the middle of being thirsty, you think you have no choice. And so you were talking about being conscious or being aware or pausing. Any idea if you're that thirsty person? Because if you are driven by that thirst, you will be hasty. If you are hasty, you will be foolish.
Wow.
So
But-
any way to help thirsty people, who if they live by their thirst, they're going to die by the thirst. How do you help them to know that they could pause and have a choice? Like
Y'all
What do you want?
Y'all going to have to give me 60 seconds to preach on that at some point.
Hold on, Jeff.
Yes, go ahead.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
But I will say this: some hurt has no expiration date. So regardless of the pause, that situation will be waiting on you when you resurface. So you can finish.
avoidance.
Yeah.
Asking a person not so much, what do you just want? Well, I want this and I want that. I always ask them, how do you know you want that? What's the evidence in your life that says
Ain't nobody
that you
doing
really
that kind of thinking.
want that?
Nobody.
Well, we have the
That
great-
shit hurts. Caller.
It hurts?
Caller, get the caller in here. That shit hurts.
Yes, but it's necessary. It takes courage.
Get the caller
I
in
heard
here.
you, Tina.
Thank
but,
you.
But I'm just Whitey Locks in the sidelines. Go on.
Exactly, Whitey Locks. What's going on? We got the caller on. Talk to us. Where you calling from?
Hey, it's Hannah.
Oh,
Hey,
shit.
it is.
James Hanna.
Hannah Dog, what's up?
Nothing, y'all. What's going on, fellas?
Have you been listening to this thirsty and desperate conversation?
Yes,
we've
were
been
you
having?
quoted? Do you remember? Did you hear yourself quoted earlier?
No, I did not. No,
I had to throw up how the nice guys never get the pussy with the new car smell.
Oh, yeah, that's true. No, man, thirsty people ain't shit. We all ain't shit.
Well, go ahead, James. Tell us how you feel.
Just wait your damn turn. That's all you got to do. You ain't going to get that dude, you get the next dude. Just shut the fuck up and relax. Remember that? Hey, Jeff, you remember? I'll tell you a thirsty bitch story.
Yeah.
Jeff, remember that night we were doing the improv? This is like, man, this had to be over 10 years ago. And it was a big titty red bone sitting up front.
Yeah.
And, I mean, she was gorgeous. And she kept trying to get attention for the whole show.
Are you talking about the one that I started reading Sam I Am to? Because she had never.
Her.
Yeah.
She was gorgeous, but she was guys. She as pretty as she was,
she still wanted attention. She still had to draw attention to herself. She had her breasts hanging out. She was the typical black man's dream: light skin, long hair, big titties. And that wasn't enough. She still needed attention. And I had to point out, I said, fellas, anybody that fucks her tonight wear rubber.
Yeah,
wow.
I remember that. Yes.
You don't want this chick pregnant. Anybody this fucking thirsty for attention is something wrong. Daddy fucked up somewhere.
Damn.
Daddy didn't take her to the park enough. Something.
Okay. Yeah. James Hanna, the bull in the China shop, has made his presence.
Hulk smash. Hulk smash.
Wow. There's something wrong, man. I was telling you today, man. It's something. Women have gone crazy, man. The fucking world is nuts. It's something. Okay, here's the thing, guys.
Go ahead.
I've been out of the game. I've been out of the game going on 16 years. Been married 15 years. So I've been out of the game. I want to know, all you guys that are single, who put out the new rule now that ugly bitches get to have shitty attitude?
What's wrong?
I don't know. I didn't get that memo that ugly bitches get to be nasty.
That is a tangent, James, but it is a very valid point.
That is a comedic filibuster.
Yes.
All that shit. It's like, who said that ugly women get that? Dude, I was at the gas station, and I held the door for a broad that wasn't just ugly in the face. The bitch was bad built, too.
Built like a bar of soap?
Dude, built like a fucking, like
a bicuspid.
Like a safeguard bar. And this chick had the nerve. I'm holding the door for her. She had the nerve to give me the nigga please look. Like I was using holding the door as an opportunity to holler at her. And it just fucked me up because I've been seeing that a lot. Ugly women. This chick was so unattractive. If her and Cheryl Underwood were sisters, they called Cheryl the cute one.
Oh,
wow.
And she had the nerve to be shitty. Had the nerve. I'm like, what the fuck is going on with these ugly bro? Dude, remember, everybody there's over 40. Remember when ugly girls were humble?
Yeah. That was one of the benefits of being with an ugly girl is that your food was gonna be cooked nice and you didn't have to hear what your problem is. Yeah.
Exactly. What happened to that?
I don't know.
I'll tell you what happened. Oprah and Yana Van Zandt and Essence Magazine is what the fuck happened. They started convincing ugly bitches that they're pretty.
Wow. This is tough.
Because they're pretty. So you have to tell ugly bitches, you have to emphasize pretty on the inside. That's what you have to emphasize. You can't tell them they pretty Melissa Ford and shit. That's fucking up the whole ecosystem.
It's the ecosystem.
The whole ecosystem has been thrown into an 80-degree hellhole. It's bad. Look, would you tell a retarded kid he could be a lawyer one day?
Wow. Hey, okay, so listen.
He could be a paralegal.
Listen. James, this is another topic for another show. You have taken us on a comedic filibuster that we enjoy.
Yes. Yes.
We're gonna have to make this a topic.
We were on our way to the library, and James hijacked us and took us to Magic Mountain. Yes. We enjoy where we went.
Yeah,
Magic City.
Magic City. Right. But thank you for the call, brother. We really appreciate it. We got to start wrapping this up right now. And I appreciate the call, man, and I hope to see you. We've got one. All right, brother.
Peace.
So let's do this. We have another caller. Well, one more caller. Let's go. One more caller. Caller, you're on.
Hello.
Hey, a
Hello.
female.
Oh,
How you doing?
Hi, Bill.
Hey,
What a
what's
pretty
happening?
voice.
Jeff, hey, what's up?
Hey, beautiful
Doc,
voice.
hi.
Breath of
Tina,
sunshine.
Hello.
Hello.
What is your name, beautiful?
Crystal. My name is Crystal.
Crystal.
All
I'm
right.
in the office, so I'm sneaking on the phone, y'all.
All up under the cubicle. Let's go.
All right, this ain't James Hanna's wife, Crystal, is it?
No.
Okay.
And he just went in. Oh, gosh, that was
In 30
hilarious.
steps, there's a window seat. Go to it.
Okay, so just a
That's
really
exactly
quick
what I was
question.
thinking.
Really quick. You guys talked about coping
Right.
and how people use a coping mechanism to get by.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking to find out how can I, because I have this problem too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to cope. I want to deal with it. Whatever my issues are, I have a lot of issues with my mom and how I was raised. And I'm bringing all of that into the relationships that I carry with men. So instead of coping, how do I deal with it?
I'm going to let the doc handle it first, then I'm going to go to Tina, then Geoff.
Okay.
Let's make this quick, guys, because we're wrapping. So, Doc?
Real quick. Whenever you feel like you're being reactive inside, like when you want to snap at someone, whoever it is, if you can pause and ask yourself these 3 questions. What am I frustrated about? What do I resent? And what really hurts? Mm-hmm. What am I frustrated about? What do I resent? And what really hurts? And if you can just follow all that way through, you might be able to have a conversation with the person you're having problems with if you talk about what hurts, because they won't feel attacked.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point. Tina?
I think the best thing that she did was acknowledge that she wants to lean into it. Mm-hmm. And I think the introspection that is required to really have a relationship with what's happening around her is necessary. Mm-hmm. So start to write it out, journal. Start to log your thoughts so that you can read it back and become sort of your own coach, your own counselor in these areas while asking the same questions the doctor has given you.
Beautiful. Geoff?
2 things came to mind because I really was dealing with that in my past marriage, where the person I was with was making me was being the catalyst for my choice to become this ugly person. The first thing you do is, when you really have something you want to communicate to somebody that you know is just going to turn into Vietnam, write them. Write them, because when you write words, those are words you can take back in the moment. You can erase. You can't erase what you're going to say. And 2,
good stuff.
Don't think about being a good person for them. Think about being a good person for you, and that this communication is beneath the individual you want to become.
Excellent. Now, here's my brief breakdown for you as well. Look up something called kintsukuroi or kintsugi. These are Japanese terms.
Yeah, no shit, but I didn't have
And
those
I'll
things.
tell you what they mean. Kintsukuroi means to weld or bond together using gold. Now, let me explain something to you. This metaphor breaks it down this way. In China, they have this tea ceremony. 1,500 years ago, in the 1500s, a long time ago. And what happens is, when they break pottery, they rejoin it by using gold. And it became a craze, right? Oh, this is incredible. Now it has gold veins wherever the cracks were. So now the pottery became even more beautiful from having been broken.
Yes. Love that.
To rejoin with gold. Most people are rejoining their relationships with resentment.
That's right.
Crazy glue.
It's not even a valuable, something that doesn't raise its value that they're using to rejoin it with. Rejoin with gold. The only way to rejoin your relationships is through forgiveness. Forgiveness is the highest evolutionary process a human being can achieve. And the only way to get there is through the hallway of pain.
Yes.
That's the only way. Kintsukuroi, look it up. Just my point. Now, that's the end of the show. I really appreciate. Look, everybody's got it. They got it up there. Kintsugi. They got it all in the Twitter, all on the chat room. But listen, we have to wrap this up. This is what I would like for you guys to do. I want you to follow Tina Speaks. She has a show on Thursdays, correct?
Thursdays and Fridays, 3 and 4 o'clock on both days.
All right, excellent. I want you to follow Dr. Mark Goulston. What's your website, Doc?
Go to Heartfelt Leadership. Heartfelt Leadership is a global community, and you go in there and you'll find some stuff. And if you click on Be Inspired, we interview some of the most heartfelt leaders you'll ever hear from.
Excellent. And Geoff Brown?
Look for Geoff Brown's ringtones at Mixer.com. Just go Mixer.com/Geoff Brown ringtones, and know that Fuck the Radio is coming soon.
Hysterical. Now, I appreciate Alvin Garrett, Grammy Award-winning artist. Where can they find you? Twitter real quick?
He's not on.
Oh, he's gone. Oh, I'm sorry, brother. Thanks for being on the show.
Get
you
at
had
me,
great
Alvin.
information. This was good stuff. And Zoe Williams, you can find me at Zoe Williams. I am ZoeWilliams.com. Again, I urge all independent cats out there doing something like the guy who does these t-shirts, Cool Nerd. Send me your stuff. I'll promote it. I don't care. I want to support you. Support me, though. I am ZoeWilliams.com. Get my shirts, do all of that. Let's continue this movement. This was a great show. Holla at y'all next week. Deuces!